In the last video, we looked at list methods. In this video, we're going to look at the methods of another container type, dictionaries. Dictionary methods are named operations, essentially functions, for which any dictionary can serve as an operand. Because dictionaries are mutable, we can change the keys and the values and the items inside a dictionary. Transformative dictionary methods modify their dictionary in place. So it's not necessary to write a new assignment statement if you want to change the dictionary. When you call a method, the original dictionary is changed. The items method returns a view object containing all of the items in the dictionary. And remember, an item is a key value pair. The term view object, kind of like the term container, is not a type of object, it's a group of types. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Here we have a dictionary called client coverage, and it contains clients as keys and bankers who cover those clients as values. So we see Energy Transfer LP is covered by Mark McDuffie. Magellan Midstream Partners is covered by Mark McDuffie as well. AbbVie is covered by Sean Dreyer, and so on. We are going to print. Here I'm calling the items method through the client coverage dictionary, and I'm printing the object that this method call returns. And then beneath that, I'm passing the object returned by this items method call to the type function, and then I'm passing the output of the type function to the print function so that we can see what it says. In our first line, we see that the items method gives us all of the items in this dictionary. So we have Energy Transfer LP and Mark McDuffie, and so on, all the way to Honeywell International and Lisa Moffett, which is the last item in our dictionary. Notice that this dictionary items object is surrounded by square brackets here, like a list. And then inside of that, my key value pairs are contained in parentheses. That means these objects are tuples. So you can think about this dictionary items object like a list of tuples. But that's not exactly what it is. When we pass this object, which is returned by the items method, to the type function, it tells us this is a unique type of object. It's a dictionary items object. So that's why I say a view object is not a type, it's a group of types. In this case, the item method gives us a dictionary items object, which is a kind of view object. View objects are dynamic, which means that they automatically reflect changes to their dictionary. Here, I'm calling the items method through the client coverage dictionary, and I'm binding the object that it returns to the item view variable. Then I'm changing my client coverage dictionary by adding a new client, NVIDIA, with a new coverage banker, Russell Peters. When I execute this and then display my item view object, I see I have a dictionary items object, which is what I would expect to come out of the items method. If I go to the end of these items, I see NVIDIA and Russell Peters, even though I did nothing to update the item view object. I only changed the client coverage dictionary. The item view object reflects the change in the client coverage dictionary automatically. View objects, like dictionary items objects, support membership testing with the in keyword and are also compatible with the len length function. So here I'm asking, does this tuple, Energy Transfer LP and Mark McDuffie, exist in the items of client coverage? If I execute that, I see, yes, that's true. Energy Transfer LP is right here, and they are covered by Mark McDuffie, and these are organized as a tuple inside my dictionary items object. If I want to know the number of items in this dictionary, I can pass client coverage items to the length function, and I see that there are 6 items in the dictionary. We can get 2 other view objects from dictionaries using the keys and values method. They return objects containing the keys and the values of the dictionary. We can get 2 other view objects from dictionaries using the keys and values method. Here I'm calling the keys method through the client coverage dictionary, and I'm also passing the result of that method call to the type method. And then I'm calling the values method through the same dictionary, and I'm passing the result of that method call to the type function as well. When I execute this, I see that the keys method gives me my clients only the keys of my dictionary. And they are in what looks like a list because they're surrounded with square brackets, but the type function tells us this is not a list, this is a dictionary keys object. I see that the values method gives me only my bankers, only the values in my dictionary. And they seem to be stored in a list because they're surrounded by square brackets, separated by commas. But the type function tells me that this is a special dictionary values type object. When you're using for loops down the road with dictionaries, these keys, values, and items methods become very useful. Like lists, dictionaries implement their own version of the pop and clear methods. The dictionary version of pop requires a key as an argument, returns a value, and removes a whole item from the dictionary. Here I have a simple dictionary with 2 items, 1 and 2. I am popping 1 from my dictionary, and I'm binding the object returned by this pop method call with the returned value variable. Then I'm going to print returned value so we can see the object that's bound to it. And I'm also printing the dictionary so that we can see the change that has occurred. The object bound to returned value is my 1 value that is associated with this 1 key. So pop requires a key as an argument. It returns a value, this 1, that's associated with that key, but it removes the whole item. When I print my dictionary, we see it only has 1 item left. This whole first item has been removed from the dictionary. So that's how pop works with dictionary. The dictionary clear method syntax is the same as the list version. You call it after the name of your dictionary. It doesn't require any arguments. When I do that, my dictionary now has no items, it's empty. Now we're going to put this all together in a little application. So as a reminder, we created a dictionary called J&J projections in a prior video. Here I'm calling the items method so that we can see the items inside that dictionary. We have the price of Johnson & Johnson, its earnings, its name, and its PE ratio. We're also going to initialize a new list called earnings list. And initialize means we're creating an empty list so that we can use it later, specifically by appending new elements to the list. We have to initialize it before we can append anything to it. So we're going to complete the following 4 steps. First, using the pop method, we're going to append Johnson & Johnson's projected earnings to earnings list. So I want to pop earnings out of the J&J projections dictionary. So I'm going to type the name of my dictionary, followed by the name of the method that I want to call pop. And I'm going to pass pop the key associated with the value that I want to return, which is earnings. My earnings key is associated with the earnings value in my J&J projections dictionary. So if I execute this by itself, it will return 6.62 and it will remove this whole item from my dictionary. I want to append the value returned by this method call to earnings list, which I initialized up here. I'm going to do that by calling the append method through earnings list. I'm going to write earnings list dot append, and I'm going to give this append method call my pop method call as an argument. This pop method call is going to return 6.62 and give that object to the append method call, which will add it to earnings list. And when we call the pop method, it's not just going to return 6.62, it's going to remove this whole item from our dictionary. As our second step, we're going to print earnings list and J&J projections so that we can see the effect of what we've done. I need to execute this cell and define earnings list before this cell is going to work. Now we can see earnings list contains 6.62, and we can see that the earnings item has been removed from the J&J projections dictionary. Now I'm going to clear J&J projections and print the dictionary so I can see what's happened. And the clear method has emptied our dictionary. That's it for our overview of dictionary methods. I hope this video has been useful. If it has, please give it a like. And if you want to see more, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video.